Shalom, call Haloyama Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim, Rahakak Radash. My name is Yahalal, and before I begin this lesson, I also want to say salutations and shalom to the men of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned this 100% truth from, and shalom to all of those men from the elders, apostles, bishops, teachers all across the world. Shalom to those brothers who are on the corners and highways and hedges in the streets, teaching this 100% truth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the speckled bird, the confused face. Shalom to the Akim and Aqua, who also subscribe to the men of GMS to learn this 100% truth. And last but not least, shalom to the elect. Shalom to the elect. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. So I got a lesson I wanted to talk about, and it's about the Judite and the Israelite woman, which would be the northern and southern tribes of Israel, which consist of the Afro-American woman, the Spanish woman, and the Native American woman. And it is titled, Woman, There is Order. So with that, Abarak Dazal, you may be edified with this lesson that I have. And let's get the first scripture, which is going to be Matthew 24, verse 4. And this is Yahweh Shah speaking, so listen and listen good. And it reads, And Yahweh Shah answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Now, our people have been deceived from male to female and from children of all races and creeds of people. And this false Christ has definitely did a big number on the Israelite woman. And they would rather hear sweet things and smooth things, just as well as our men, from the enemy versus the truth. And they love this carnal world that they are in. And I've heard Elder Apostle Tahar, Salakia, Elder Apostle Gabar say many times that women are fickle. Look that word up. And how our people are sottish. Look that word up. And we fall for anything, man. We're sheep being led to the slaughter. So I read that scripture first because it's easy to deceive our women. This is why the enemy and any other Gentile nation who wants to take advantage of our people, they go to our women first because they know that they can get them and they can trick them and they can deceive them because it's easy. This is 1 Corinthians 11:2, and it reads, Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinance I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Hamashiach is the Most High. So, this is an order for our women and our men and our children to go by that the Apostle Paul had laid down, especially for the people who are Israelites in the land of Corinth. And the land of Corinth had our people who lived there as Gentiles did not know, and some did know who they were and their heritage and their pedigree of people that they come from. But they were doing so many wicked things that Paul had to do a Corinthians 1 and 2 because there's so much things going on in the land of Corinth that this is why he reached out to them the way he did. Now, I'm going to read these other two scriptures that's under it, and this is 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, and it reads, Salakia, this is 1 Corinthians 11 and 4, and it reads, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. So these things today that's going on in the world, our women learn from our oppressors and our enemies. And again, I stress to you that your enemy and the heathen knew enough to know that in order to deceive a nation of people, we must get the woman first. And one of the ways that he did that was giving her authority to believe that she is equal to a man and she can do what the man does, which gives me this scripture, and this is Deuteronomy 22 and 5, and it reads, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto Yahweh thy power. And what's going on in the world today? Well, preferably what's going on in Babylon, the great Sodom, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom today, which is America. Wickedness, confusion. Babylon means confusion. And I don't understand how when you start speaking, prophesying about this country and the past and the future, that speaking to our women, they only want to take what they want and believe what they feel is presentable for them. It's crazy to see that, but it's reality. And I love to tell people, well, not love, but I always tell people, and me speaking, sometimes I'm not doing a video or I'm not on the street and I'm just talking to some people and the Bible happens to come up. And one of the things that I bring up is that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And this country that we live in today in 2023 resembles a lot of things that took place in Babylon, Assyria, Rome, and Sodom and Gomorrah. And I tell them, if the Lord destroyed those places because of then and what they were doing then, why would he not destroy this one? And that kind of it messes them up because they don't have anything to bring back with that. And it's like, well, because they just think that America's going to live forever, but it can't. It has to die. It has to be destroyed. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 61, and it reads, "Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh thy power." What is the voice of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai? It's his prophets. It's when his prophets speak. And if you hear his prophets and you listen, you hear Yahweh Shai and you hear Yahweh. Or you hear Yahweh and you hear Yahweh Shai. And that is what our women today do not hear. They hear the devil and they listen to the devil and they follow the ways of the devil. And they like the ways of the devil because they like to do things that pertain to a man. And the men, unfortunately, like to do things that pertain to a woman. So this is why this place must be destroyed. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we're going to keep prophesying against this nation and against this wicked kingdom, knowing soon that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai sent his son to redeem us and to bring back order in this crazy, wicked ass world that we live in. And this is why I've named this woman There Is Order. This is Titus 2 and 3, and it reads, "The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young woman to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed." And that's just it. But today, our women, and I did this lesson because, the more I'm watching social media, certain platforms that I listen to, not many, but the common thing that I'm hearing all the time is that men hate women and women hate men. I hear that all the time, and it just made me think of that there must be some order. Now, I could have said, "Man, there is order," but again, I know that the enemy has used the woman to destroy the nation of Israel the way it is. This is Romans 7 and 12, and it reads, "Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? Yahweh forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin." And this is what our people are married to. That's a good word to use. Joined on to. We love to commit sin. We love to go around and do wicked. And we hate our own in helping and loving our own. This is why 2/3 of our people must die. because of the wickedness that we have picked up from our enemies. The emotion, the effeminate lifestyle and the masculine lifestyles that's been switched around and confused and used to benefit the enemies and the devil. This is 1 Timothy 2:9, and it reads, "In like manner also, that women adore themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array." So our women have been perverted and tricked and deceived into thinking that they can do what men can do, but at the same time they can still be women and be wicked and show their body and show their sexual prowess, if that makes sense, or show their sexual intent, mischievous manner. Look that word up. And take advantage. Now, it says in the scripture that women can make a man sin, especially if that man is weak-minded. So now we are in a situation where the whole world pretty much is under the influence and vibration of the evil devil and other nations of Gentiles to follow their ways and their wicked lifestyles that they choose to use. And we are in a situation where 2/3 of our people will never come back from what they have learned for generation through generation and taught generation after generation. And now evil is good and good is evil. And this is the world that we live in today, in a confused world, which is spiritually Babylon. And this is what we're dealing with every day, man. So, we're trying our best to fight this wicked, evil vibration to the best of our ability, but we understand this is why Yahweh Shai must come back to save us, because we need saving. And he can be the only one, Yahweh Shai, that'll be able to give us the power to defeat and go up against our enemies. My last scripture is Isaiah 3:12, and it reads, "For Salakia, as for my people, children are they oppressors. Woo! And women rule over them. O my people, they which led thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Yahweh standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people." And this is what's going to happen to 2/3 of our people. And a lot of our people are majority women. And in these times coming, there will be a lot of judgment happening. Kol Holo Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakak Radash. Shalom to the brothers who put their lives on the line on the highways and byways, who risk their lives and freedom to do so in speaking this truth. Shalom to the men of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned this 100% truth from. Shalom to the speckled bird, confused faced, the Akim and Aqua, who also subscribe to the men of GMS to learn this 100% truth. And last but not least, Shalom to the elect. My name is Yahalo. Abarak Tazah, you have been edified. Shalom.